Welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome to El Clásico. Right here, Barça are facing Real Madrid in the Spanish Supercopa semi-final live from Saudi Arabia, and this is going to be a highly contested game between two teams who have ambitions of reaching the final, where Athletic Club or Atletico Madrid will await, and this for me is such a big game, especially on the side of Barça. We have been looking to rise to the occasion now for such a long time. We haven't seen that. We are waiting for that big performance. Could this be the time? Could this be our time? And we are going to be discussing both of these teams in great detail with all of the team news, all of the expected lineups, and especially for Xavi, who is set to welcome back some big names to his lineup. Let's get to it now. It is El Clásico. Because for me, this encounter right here, this matchup between these two historic teams, this is a fixture. It doesn't get better. It simply does not get better than when Barça play Real Madrid. The expectation, the atmosphere, the build-up, the hope for both teams coming into this game, you simply cannot match it. And I think in a game like this, anything can happen, and quite often in Clásicos, anything does happen, and that is something, especially here in a cup game, that can give us hope. And the other thing too is the fact that coming into this game for the very first time as the Barcelona coach, Xavi will be leading us, and I think somebody here who holds so much experience in this fixture, second only to Messi as the Barca player with most appearances in El Clásico, and this is certainly a game that Xavi will understand, an occasion that he knows all about, and certainly handling those emotions, he's going to need to pass on all of that wisdom to his players, because this right here is a young Barcelona team. Many players here are still learning, they're inexperienced every single game, especially big games. It's a big learning curve for them, and Xavi will need to make sure that each and every one of his players are ready and understand what he wants from them in a game like this. Because honestly, coming into this game, I don't think any of us Barcelona fans are under any illusions. Real Madrid are the favourites, and not only the favourites, but I think Real Madrid here, they are big favourites. You know, they're top in La Liga, they're miles ahead of Barca in the league. We simply cannot argue with that. I think actually when it comes to Real Madrid, it feels as though they're at a very different stage to what we are as a team right now. I think Barca are in transition. We are relying a lot more heavily now on youth. We're looking to the future. We're building something. But I think with Real Madrid, they're much more of the finished article. They too have young players, but I think right throughout their team, the core of their team, they've got a lot of experience. They've got players there who are at their peak right now in their careers. And they, of course, will fancy their chances heading into this game. But the game's still there to be won. Let's make no mistake about that whatsoever. Real Madrid are the favourites. Real Madrid have been playing well all season long, but they're not perfect. They've had their flaws. They've had their bad games this season. They've had bad performances. But the one thing that you have to do against Real Madrid is finish your chances. That is the one thing that we have to do tomorrow if we're going to do anything in this game. Because Real can concede chances. They will give you space at times. But if you don't take advantage of that, they will punish you, because this is a team who know how to win. Even if they're not playing well, they can get over the line. We have to hurt them when we get the chance to do so. Be clinical, and on our side, don't make mistakes. And indeed, when you are looking to the expected lineup of Real Madrid, and indeed the options that Carlo Ancelotti has at his disposal, you can see quite clearly there's real quality. Courtois this season has been sensational for Real Madrid. When they do concede those chances, he is often there to shut them down. Alaba and Militao have been a really good partnership. Look at that midfield trio of Kroos, Modric and Casemiro. Ancelotti heavily relies on that midfield trio, and taking the ball away from that trio is going to be key in winning this game. And of course, you look to the attack. Vinicius has been outstanding this season. He's really improved in the final third and in terms of his end product. And we all know about Benzema's goal-scoring exploits. But I think if I had to target a specific area of this Real Madrid team, I think their right side right now, that's their most doubtful side. Because on that side, you've got Vasquez potentially playing at right back. Carlo Ancelotti earlier today admitted that Carvajal may not be ready to start this game. And even on the right wing, Rodrigo and Asensio have also been doubts here, and that would certainly there be areas of weakness, maybe areas that you can just put a bit more pressure on in that Real team. But look, they are strong. And I think as we do start now to think about Xavi's potential team, the options that he has, what he needs to do in this game, what I really think we need to see from Barca is something different. We need to approach this game in a different way to what we have done in Clásicos, to be honest, during the past few seasons. Because as you can see right here, we are approaching an unwanted record. Because we come into this game having lost 4 of our last Clásico encounters. If we were to lose this one, it would be 5 on the bounce. And honestly, my problem there with those results is not necessarily that we've lost all of them, but we've barely threatened in those games. You look at the goals that we've even scored in the most recent one there. It was Aguero. At the very end of the game, it was something out of nothing. Mingueza scored in the one before that from a corner kick, and we just haven't put pressure on Real Madrid. We haven't gone into any of these Clásicos to be and actually imposed ourselves on the game. Xavi tomorrow will know, in order to win, you go out there, you make a statement, you stamp your authority on this game, and you take it to Real Madrid. But of course, guys, in order to take the game to the opposition, in order to really threaten Real Madrid, what you need to have, what Xavi must have, is the players available to him in order to achieve just that. And the big news over the past 24 hours is that both Pedri and Ferran Torres, they tested negative for COVID. They've gotten on the plane to Saudi Arabia, and right here and right now, they are there with the team, and yes, they are ready to play. Because Xavi confirmed in his press conference this afternoon that Ferran Torres, Pedri, and indeed Ansu Fati are all in contention to play some minutes against Real Madrid. We don't know exactly when they will feature, whether it be from the start, whether it be from the bench, but Xavi did confirm that ahead of this evening's training session, all 3 of those players have chances, and that gives us huge options. And not only options, but huge confidence as well. Because in goal, of course, it is going to be Marc-Andre ter Stegen. And just as we spoke about there with Courtois saving Real Madrid this season, we need in this game a big performance for ter Stegen to follow up on those big recent saves. And again here, really help us as a team. Along the back line, of course, you'd expect Jordi Alba there at left back. And I'm sure at right back as well, it is going to be a return to this fixture for Dani Alves. And I'm sure he's really going to enjoy playing in this game again, and of course he's likely to be the man up against Vinicius on that right-hand side. He needs to be at his brilliant best. At centre-back, there is going to be no Eric Garcia through injury, and I'd expect Gerard Piqué to start there in a centre-back role alongside Ronald Araújo, who is believed to be ready to play in this game. He may have there some protection on that hand. He is still recovering from that surgery, but he may be risked for a game like this, and he's ready to play through the pain, if that's what it takes. In midfield, it is certainly going to be Sergio Busquets, who, if he plays in this game, will equal Xavi's 42 Clásico appearances. So that's really a nice milestone there for Sergio Busquets, and alongside him, free to play and not suspended in this game, it is Xavi, and we're going to need that kind of intensity. Okay, we don't want him to get sent off again, but you need somebody in a game like this to be getting in the faces of the opposition, not giving them time on the ball, and really playing with intensity. And the third midfield spot for me is very much up for grabs. I wouldn't expect Pedri to return straight away to the starting lineup, so for me it is very much between Nico Gonzalez, who of course started in the last game against Granada, or is it going to be a return to the team for Frenkie de Jong? I think if he is ready, if he is fully fit, which again remains to be seen, I wouldn't be surprised to see de Jong back in the lineup. Which brings us on then to by far and away the most exciting part of this team right now, because suddenly Xavi has options again. We have players coming back who can impact games, who can win and decide games on their own, but will it be from the start? Because I actually think here that the likes of Ansu, the likes of Ferran, they may not quite be ready to start this game. So I would say cautiously from the start, we'll have 2 wingers, Abde on the left, Dembele on the right, and down the middle, probably, it's going to be Luuk de Jong. Because of course some people may say, should that be Memphis down the middle? Will Xavi actually go the way of Memphis in this game? But look at how Luuk de Jong has actually played over the past few matches. He has been by far and away our biggest goal threat in that forward area. So I think actually, if it is between him and Memphis, maybe right now you would lean the way of Luuk de Jong. But what I'm interested in is when that game progresses, when we get there into the second half of games, because just look at the options suddenly that we have coming from the bench perhaps. You could have Ansu Fati from the left-hand side and Ferran Torres from the right. Just imagine they're bringing on two players of that quality, and it's fluid. We've spoken about this before, but the fact that Ferran can play down the middle, you could leave Dembele on the right, you could bring Ansu on the left, and Ferran could operate there in that false nine role. You could also play Ansu Fati down the middle, keep Abde on the left-hand side, play with the winger there, with Ferran on the right. Or you could even include Memphis down the middle. Maybe he'll be more comfortable there with Ansu's runs and Ferran around him. But I just think right here, it is incredibly exciting to have players like this, at long last, back at our disposal. This game might have come slightly too soon to see them from the start, but hopefully, in the second half, we can have some fun. But indeed, when we do come to your predictions, guys, it is safe to say that you agree that Real Madrid are certainly the favourites. We're not hiding that. We're not going to delude ourselves in thinking here that Barca are going to win, by a massive scoreline. We know that Real are the favourites coming into this game. You've got a number of predictions here from the channel members, and I do like the predictions there, I've got to say, that say 2-2. Because maybe here we'll see a few goals in this game. Maybe actually it'll go beyond full time. And imagine a Clásico going to a penalty shootout. And you know what? I'm actually going to mirror that. I am going to say here, Barca 2, Real Madrid 2. I think there'll be goals because I think both defences have cracks in them if enough pressure is applied. And then it's a case of who holds their nerve, who can get over the line and reach the final. I hope with all of my heart, with everything I have, that it's Barca. This would be massive for us. This would be huge. But please, we must perform. We must step up and get our club back where it belongs. Please do leave your thoughts in the comments down below, guys, and please do leave all of your predictions. What are you expecting in this encounter? And do you believe the likes of Ansu, the likes of Ferran could have an influence on this game? Let me know that down below. These are exciting times, not only now, but looking to the future with these players again back at our disposal. I will see you tomorrow for the big match review. Please, let us be celebrating. Please, give us this moment. But I will see you then to discover it all. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.